Good morning, everyone. I'm Neha Jose, audiologist and speech language pathologist working as consultant at Sampark e-Polyclinic. Today, I'm going to talk about the speech delay myths. So, when you're unsure whether your child has a speech delay, it may be difficult for you to tell the facts apart from all the myths. So, here are the 8 most common myths about speech impairment in children and the truth behind each one of them. So, let's see the first myth, that is, telegraphic speech helps toddlers learn to talk. Telegraphic speech means talking in a simplified language that typically lacks action verbs, prepositions, and correct grammar. So if you're saying, yum candy, instead of that, you can tell your child, oh, my baby is eating candy. Telegraphic speech might sound very simple for adults, but it will always be confusing for a child who is learning to speak. Telegraphic speech can limit a child's speech and language development since it is a poor model of speech. The second myth, children grow out of speech delays with time on their own. There are some children who grow out of speech delays eventually. Many of them don't require any help from the professionals. It is difficult to predict which children will grow out and who will experience speech delay in their life. So always get an opinion from a speech language pathologist because the delay could be due to a family history. So getting the opinion of a speech language pathologist and beginning the speech exercises at home with your children is the best way to handle speech delays in toddler. The third myth, pacifiers are bad for speech and speech language for the speech development in a child. So here you need to understand that oromotor development will help in enhancing the child's speech and language. But yes, overuse of the pacifiers is also not good because it can cause some other issues like ear infections or malocclusion. So if you're worried that giving a pacifier are bad for speech development in child, then you are wrong. The fourth myth is baby talk hinders a child development. Studies show that using baby talk can help your child's speech and language development. Baby talk closely mimics how babies babble and talk. It is often more interesting than normal adult talk to babies. Using grammatically correct sentences but talking in a high-pitched voice compromises baby talk. Research shows that making funny faces with exaggerated expressions stimulates infants to follow the speaker's voice. So the fifth myth is twins have delayed language development. So why this is a myth? Many people, when they get twin babies, are always worried if their child will have speech and language delay. It is not always true, but yes, there are some researchers which says that late speech and language emergence was twice as prevalent among twins as compared to single-born children. If your twins don't say their first word by their first birthday, it's cause for concern. You should consult your pediatrician and an SLP immediately for the evaluation and assessment. The sixth myth is younger siblings experience speech delays because older siblings talk for them. This is one of the top myths about speech delay in children. It is common for the older children in the family to act as a communication bridge between the younger children or the child and the parents. Younger children may initially rely on their older siblings to communicate with their parents and other family members. In reality, having an older sibling will help the child in modeling the speech. The seventh myth is learning more than one language at a time causes speech and language delay in children. First of all, multilingual brains are proved to smarter brains. So we being in a country like India, it is always good to stimulate the child in more than one language. Some studies show that children from bilingual homes may show a slight delay in saying their first word. Most importantly, they mix up words from 2 or more languages until they are about 4 years old. So if your 4-year-old child isn't talking, it is a serious cause of concern, irrespective of how many languages you speak at home. So if you find a delay in your child, please get an opinion about it from an SLP. The last myth is a 3-year-old child may not talk because they are lazy. So I have heard from many parents that my child is very lazy, so he is not speaking because of that. That is a very big myth. A 3-year-old child should be able to say 3-word sentences and use simple pronouns. So, speech delay in 3-year-old children can be a sign of selective mutism, severe and repeated ear infections, childhood apraxia of speech, autism, intellectual disability, or hearing loss. Always consult a pediatrician blame your child before you blame your child's mutism on their laziness. Thank you. So these are the 8 myths. And if you have any queries or you want to talk about it, or you have concern about your child, you can come to our branches, which is in Katash and Kotur. These below are the addresses and the numbers you can contact and reach to us.